the following presentation of the National Football League.
This is the city, Los Angeles, California. That's where we are for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. But tonight we start Week 5 with a primetime matchup, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
Truly one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league, who's willing to do whatever it takes to win and plays through a lot of adversity and continues to do it at a high level in his high 30s. Trying to make another run to the Super Bowl here in his 17th season.
It's caught here by Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
First run now for Kyren Williams. He finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. The numbers on the ground for Williams a week ago. 15 carries, 56 yards.
Well, obviously he didn't have a great deal of time between games, having to turn around on a short week and get ready for Thursday night football. But he said in pregame he was feeling pretty good and felt more recovered from last week's contest than he would have expected. Didn't seem to think this short week was going to affect him much as he chases a big performance here in prime time.
Now Stafford is going to change things up. They'll set up a throw. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Everybody was coming on the blitz that time, and they got home.
And you know the expression, hat on a hat, in terms of blocking, trying to keep your quarterback protected? Well, if you don't have enough hats, that's the end result. Your quarterback goes down, and sometimes he goes down hard.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year quarterback.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Here's the Pro Bowler, Christian McCaffrey. Dancing away at the 35. Now he's loose at the 40. Christian McCaffrey. Touchdown, 49ers. Christian McCaffrey with career touchdown number 96. He joins Eric Dickerson on the all-time list. And the Niners are on the board first on the road here in L.A. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Moody good with the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. There's the stiff arm. And able to get this out to the 25. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
The defense, they brought the house. That O-line, they were overwhelmed.
To put it mildly, because they didn't have enough bodies to block all the guys that came at them. Their best move, how they would have been better served, just turn around and yell, "Look out!" Because here they come.
Screen play set up for Williams. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. From the gun, here's Stafford. And the Niners get there and bring him down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
Fourth down.
Ethan Evans on now to punt.
For the Rams.
And taken right at the 35. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
2nd and 10. Play action. Now Purdy. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. Pass caught by Pearsall. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Here's Purdy. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The Niners are the perfect 4-0 to start the campaign.
They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He was looking for Jawan Jennings that time. And it's 3rd down.
You talk about this Rams defense.
They sit at number 20 in the NFL right now against the run.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game because they are facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means it's going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Purdy will look to throw again here. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
On the toss, they run wide side with McCaffrey. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Well, this defense for the Rams, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. 3rd down, here's McCaffrey. Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. No luck whatsoever there on the draw.
Yeah, they're supposed to use their aggressiveness against them. That was the hope. But maybe they had too big of a meal last night. A half step slow, and he ends up running right into the meat of the defense.
And it's caught. Touchdown. George Kittle, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers go up by 2 touchdowns. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced to punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Now Moody for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. The 10-play drive that time. And it all ends with a George Kittle touchdown. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Dangerous return man showing it here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Rams coming back out, dressed in their new NFL rivalries-inspired uniforms, known as Midnight Mode. Now remember, the Rams went to a darker blue during their greatest show on turf era, and it's back to some extent in what they're calling Midnight Navy. But it's the yellow on the sleeves, the nod to the 70s and the 80s era of Rams football that really sells the whole deal. Pretty sharp. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, they're staring up at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Taken at about the 36. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And they will take over first and 10. Christian McCaffrey and his 49er teammates back onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. And behind the chain, 2nd and 13. Trying to get to the outside. This is McCaffrey. Pushing his way through. And he's going to get this one all the way down to the Rams' 22. 119 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, Thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10. Throwing here, Purdy. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Purdy. Over the middle, complete. That's Jennings. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Christian McCaffrey, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the 49ers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Moody good with the extra point. And it's now 21-0. That time a 6-play drive. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Well, the Rams going to take over late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deommodore Lenoir. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
At the 7-yard line.
And
unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And they start in the best of all positions, 1st and goal. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. On the toss, they run wide side with McCaffrey. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Christian McCaffrey on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the 49ers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. So a toss play there does the trick as he's into the end zone.
And you don't run this unless you're sure you've got a guy who has the speed who can get to the edge, because what you're hoping for him to win the race to the corner and turn it upfield to the end zone.
Extra point try now for Moody. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Now the Rams going to take over late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. Well, Charles, I mean, things just seem to be getting worse and worse for one sideline. Or flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite end. What an impressive first-half performance.
And, partner, I know the saying in the NFL goes that no lead is safe. But I will say that this one seems pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like that, I'm going to switch back and say this lead is safe.
Purdy and the Niner offense, they'll stay on the field. They'll try to go for 2 here.
The 49ers will line up for the 2-point conversion.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now the Niner offense is back on the field, and they're going to try for 2 here. McCaffrey, he'll try to run it in. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. So a big play there. Not only the fumble return for the touchdown, then they get the 2-point try. And, you know, for the defense, though, they were just over there sitting on the field. They had to rush out to try to defend that.
You know, it's funny. They actually practice situations that they call sudden change when the team turns it over. I'll guarantee you no one practices a fumble return for a touchdown like that, and now someone goes for 2. Really good strategy by them putting them in that situation.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Rams about to go on offense one final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game. So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hanson for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hanson here, and you never know what you're going to get in the NFL. Sometimes it goes down to the wire. Other times, it's blowout city, like what this game is shaping up to be. But hey, anything can happen, so let's go to the second half. Send it back out to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scotty, thank you as always. Well, likely two very different halftime speeches by these head coaches, that's for sure, as we get set for half number 2. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here are the Niners to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Back to throw, Purdy. Now he's going to step up and run. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. That's complete to Pearsall. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, 49ers. Ricky Pearsall, his first touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And I
just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Moody good with the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Rams, nothing.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And he returns this to the 22. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Completes it to Aguilar. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
That's good for a Rams first down. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Here's Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That would have set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's Stafford. Under pressure, and they got to him again. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Caught on the right side by Adams. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up the 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he called it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
Good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. And San Francisco gets set to go here.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure you have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Purdy looking to throw. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk.
And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown.
Brandon Ayuk.
49 yards.
And the 49ers have now opened up a 7-touchdown lead. Unbelievable. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Moody good with the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
And the Rams getting set to go now.
Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So, you know, the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper to the offensive playbook. The bottom line is don't quit competing.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Stafford now to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for a 49er touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Now Moody for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. The first throw here for the backup Garoppolo. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up, and he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Extra point try now for Moody. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And the returner down to a knee. This will come out to the 35-yard line. L.A. readies for its next possession. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. This one swung out to Williams. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. 4th quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Prime Time. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is taken at the 18. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
It's a gain of 10. 1st down, San Francisco.
Purdy off the play fake. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
And this has been the story all night long. They just came out firing and have not backed off, even with the big 4th quarter lead. Here's another completion for big yardage.
Y'all gotta pump my taste. Y'all can't talk about basic. We got a no power ranger. I'm so dangerous. Y'all talk outrageous.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Christian McCaffrey. That's his 19th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Niners are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad is on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Moody good with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 35. The football going back to the Rams now. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. This offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, their defense has really struggled. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 34-yard line.
Garoppolo looks to throw. To the right side and intercepted. It's Jair Brown who's got it. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Well, not only is this defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one. And even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
Now Moody for the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
He was tackled at the 27.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
They run it again with Williams. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Nick Bosa. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Let's take it inside his own 40. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now it looks like he'll throw here.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself.
Call it a loss of 16 there. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and about a mile here.
Purdy now to throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Purdy.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go, Shaq. HG Cox.
Short throw, it's Higbee. And he's taken down inside the 30.
And the Rams, 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry, it's Williams. And he'll get this one down to about the 27.
Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. So the victory here for San Francisco. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton sign of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Niners, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Rams, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.